get to know you. And I'm willing to start over. Only you can change my intellect. Oh, make me wiser. The worst part of me, take it to the river. Let it drown. Oh, let it drown. Yeah. Evil thoughts I may think, and the scary dreams I can't shake, let them drown. Oh, let it drown. Yeah.
I know you save and deliver, but someone tell me what I do to deserve this. Only you can fill this empty space that started when I was young.
Oh, but now that I'm older, I see victory
Coming out of this,
Oh, take it to the river, let it drown. You gotta let it all
drown.
let it drown, yeah. Insecurities and family little secrets, let them drown. Oh, let it all drown, let it drown. Sometimes you gotta let some things hold on to those things that left me bound and chained. Oh, let it drown. Let it drown.
Oh, let it
Oh, this is my testimony.
Oh, you stand and
Yeah, things about to get better. Ooh, things about to get better. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Things about to get better. Ooh, things about to get better. Yeah, things about to get better.
What's up, everybody? This is Gary Diggs, and you're watching The Conversation on iKenRock TV. Tonight, my guests, two incredible gentlemen. Former NBA basketball player, Mr. Doug Overton, is joining me tonight. We're not going to play no one-on-one, but he's joining me tonight. And then my other good friend out of Salisbury, Maryland, Mandel Copeland, is going to join me later in the show. So I want you to stay tuned. Those you know, call them, text them, tweet, whatever you need to do. Send smoke signals. Let people know that Gary Diggs, The Conversation, is on right now on iKenRock TV. Stay close.
Basketball has been a big part of my life, since just growing up in Philly as a kid. After playing in the NBA for a long time and becoming a coach after that, I've been running my camp, the whole time for 22 years. So I just figured, when I got done coaching and I'm coming back in the area, I want to get into developing the kids and training and just basically just trying to, be somebody they can rely on, talk to, help. Get them to the next level. We want to start an academy where it's just more than just basketball. Basketball maybe be the vehicle to bring them in, but we also want to give them every avenue that they can be successful, whether it's education, other extracurricular activities, whatever they need to find their way into what they want to do in life. That's what we want to provide. So yeah, we want to have a full total program for the kids to develop. I already have support from the Sixers, who's our local NBA team. And so that that's great and enough for us right now. And from there we're just gonna grow. So hopefully when people see where we're going and we'll pick up steam and momentum, we'll be able to get the sponsorship that we need.
What's up, everybody? This is Gary Diggs, and you are watching The Conversation on iKenRock TV. As I stated earlier, my guest that's coming up is no stranger to the game on or off the courts. Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend, Doug Overton.
What's up, Gary? How you doing, man? Happy to be here, bro. Good to see you, man.
Doc, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing the thing, man. Listen, I just want to talk a little bit. I know I cannot possibly get this whole interview in an hour, but we're going to try to make it happen as much as possible. I was going through your bio. Dobbins High School. You went to LaSalle University, and you played in the NBA for 30 years. 30 years. 30 years.
Yeah.
You know what you know about this? Look at this.
Look, I know you for about 25. That's the first time I seen you pick up a basketball.
The first and probably the last time. Yeah. I'm not gonna mess with it.
Now we don't want to start right now.
Nah, just leave it alone. Listen, I want to read something. You had a quote, and you said, "I take absolutely nothing for granted. I'm grateful for the whole journey. Every no, every not yet. It was all a setup that led you into a journey for 30 years in the game." Talk a little bit about that, man. How has it been for you as a ball player traveling the country? I'm sure you'd have met the who's and who of all the industry, and even just, with the game and the whole thing of the NBA. How has that life been, man, as a ball player?
Yeah, man. I mean, you hit it right on the nose. It's been great. And, it's not always, peaches and cream or fantasy. It's still a profession. And once you get there, you realize that, it takes a lot of hard work, not only to get there, but to sustain it and to maintain a career. It's really hard. So, when you have those moments when you're down or like you said, the no's and the not yets, you have to keep persevering through that and keep believing in yourself, believing in your dream, and learn how to overcome those obstacles. So, like you said, I've been one of those guys who've been grinding it out their whole career.
Yeah.
Even back since growing up in Philly, nothing was given to us easy. So, I was able to, to maintain that and fight through a lot of hardships of the game, trying to maintain a career. So, and then when you look back over the long run, it's all worth it. So, I enjoyed that journey. Like you said, it's not about the things you succeed at. It's about the journey that it took to get there.
Wow. Well, I tell you this, Doug, man, like you said, you and I have been friends 25, almost 30 years, a long time. And one thing I got to say, from day one to the day, it's always been consistent. Whenever the phone call came in or whatever the case has been, it's always been Doug. I never had to reach out to 2 or 3 people to get a hold of you. It's always been a mutual relationship, man. And I appreciate you, man, for everything you've always done to contribute to my Call to Be Fresh Summit events that I do once a year for, as the kids go back to school. And the Cover Me Summit event, when kids go back to school, and the various things that I've worked on, you've always been a big part of always helping the kids. So recently, as I was on social media, I see this post about a camp that's coming up or something that you're working on called No Opponent Elite Basketball Academy.
Correct.
So talk a little bit about, what's going on. Is it for boys, girls, young kids? Is it for old heads? Retirees? Yeah. Talk about the whole camp. What's up with it?
Yeah, man. It's, basketball's been my life. They always say, you do what you're good at, do what you're passionate about. And, I'm not trying to reinvent the world. Basketball has been great for me, and it's always been my thing to give back. I've been running camps since I came into the NBA. We're starting back in 1992 in my neighborhood in Philadelphia. So, and like you said, we worked on many projects together, giving back to the community. So this is just another thing I want to get going again. Running my own training company. It's like you said, it's for all ages, from 6 ages from 6 years up and up, all the way up to professionals, guys who just graduated from college, who looking to make careers out of themselves.
Nice.
Overseas, and it's for girls and boys as well. I mean, I have
Wow.
great female players who came through my program in the past who played professionally. I have one young lady who's an All-American at Rutgers University, Diamond Johnson, who came through my program some years ago. So, we want to cater to all ages, all demographics, and again, it's just something that hopefully my expertise and all my experiences in the game, I'm able to pass it down. And you can't take it with you.
You gotta leave it. You gotta leave it on the court.
And we know it's a need out here in the community to keep these kids engaged. Basketball has been a big tool for me, to make it, and I just want to make sure other kids get that opportunity and not get overlooked.
Yeah. Now tell me, Doug, I know this camp is going to be running pretty much all summer, or is it going to be year long?
Yeah, no, this is going to be all year long. Our doors open April 10th and 11th, and it's going to be every weekend until the summertime, and then we'll run it in a few months. We'll run it all throughout the week. Our doors will be open, but it'll be basically Saturdays and Sundays. That's where kids that are in school during the week, they have something to do during the weekend to keep working on their games. And my thing is, you just don't want to have it one time. If you could get some consistency behind it, you'll really get to see the improvement, because then kids get to develop the skills, and then you can see them get better. We can develop a program for them, and then they can come back and have something to keep doing consistently. So this is going to be every week. My doors is open until they shut us down.
Okay.
And this is what we're going to be doing.
Now we're going to also list and post the information on the screen below so people can get the information. But how can they get a hold of? I mean, how do they register? Can you give us that information?
Yeah, absolutely. You can go on my website and subscribe right on my website, DougOvertonBasketball.com, or you can email me directly at CoachDoug@DougOvertonBasketball.com, and just let me know how many kids you got, or it's a boy, girl. All I need is their name, age. There is a $20 registration fee.
Sure.
And like I said, I want to make it affordable for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm not out charge like some of these guys, make it and take advantage. So I really want to make it affordable for everybody. And again, I got to pay my staff. I got to pay to keep the lights on.
You got to do that.
The facility. So, and then just reach out to me and we'll get back to you. And as simple as that.
Well, Doug, I remember some years ago, you and I were talking. I was talking about some things I was going through. And he said, Gary, once you get out that hole, there's nothing wrong with getting out the hole. Just don't forget to throw the rope back down in the hole and pull as many out as possible. I will never forget that conversation. And what I appreciate about you is the fact you could have done like a lot of cats. You've done your time in the NBA. You've got your retirement. You've done it. And you could have easily taken your ball and gone home and say, hey, I've done my time. I'm good. I'm going to kick my heels up and just chill. But you decided to come back and start pulling some folks into this game, man. And I'm forever grateful and appreciative to you, man, for what you've always done. You've always been an upstanding gentleman. I've always admired you. You know that, man, and respect you from the gate. But I just want to say to you, man, how much I really appreciate you. And I'm hoping as many people as possible will register from the tri-state area of Philadelphia, because it's going to be based in Philadelphia. So those from Jersey, Delaware, Philly will make their roads into Philadelphia to join up for this academy. And again, it's no sense in trying to get sharpened by a dull blade. You know what I mean? And we're dealing with a sharp brother here that knows the game. He's been there. He's done it. Register your kids, parents. You're trying to find something for them to do after school. I guess it's going to be on weekends. On the weekends, want something for them to do? What better place than to do is to set them up with the pioneer of the game. I hate to use the term legend because that starts dating us now. They start calling us old or the GOAT, So, but Doug, I'm just forever grateful, man. Appreciate you for being on tonight, man. Is there anything you like to share with some of our listeners, some of our young people, or even some of our retired guys, or some of the cats that never made the game and they pretty much have just gotten frustrated or upset about life, period? Is there anything you can say or share with anybody that's watching tonight?
Yeah, man. First of all, I just want to say thanks again to you, Gary. Man, like you said, anytime you pick up that phone and give me a hit, man, I'm gonna be there for you. You've been doing great things in the community as well, so I'm always there to support you in the way you give back as well. So, like minded, we always want to keep that foot moving forward. But
Yeah,
uh, I mean, you said it. I mean, you pretty much said it all. Not everybody's gonna make it to the NBA. Not everybody's gonna, take it that far. But again, it's just a vehicle. It's just a tool that can help you open other doors in your life. So, again, maybe it's some kids out there that never played the game that you
yeah,
might introduce them to. I mean, you never know. But it's things you can meet other people. I'm going to have different guest speakers come in and talk. Maybe yourself can come in
mhm,
and talk to the kids about your career and some of the great things you've been able to do. So I just want to be there. It's about exposing the kids. And like you said, we keep it real. We talk about the good, the
yeah,
bad,
yeah.
uh, things that happen, things that the kids can relate to. None of us are perfect out here,
No.
and we know how to fall down. We know how to get back up. So, and people appreciate that. So, again, this is just another vehicle, not trying to
Hmm.
many people out there doing great things. I just want to be another person to give a vehicle for kids to have an outlet.
Yeah, well, I tell you this, Doug, man. Like I said again, man, all that you just said is some good stuff. All that you said is some good stuff. But I just want to say to you, man, again, I appreciate you for everything that you've done and contribute to the game of basketball. And Doc, like I said again, hopefully we can get on this court, do something. The weather's getting good. No excuse, man. Come on, man. Let's just do this one on one. No cameras. Of course, no cameras. So when I know because I'll probably lose, which I will, but when I lose, I'll just tell people I won. That's why I said no cameras. But
uh,
so we're gonna so we'll do a little something. So I just wanted to make sure, man, that I definitely reached out to you. I want all the kids that are definitely in the Philadelphia area, man. We already know what's going on with the crime. We want those numbers down. With all the murder and a lot of things that are happening in the city. Parents, get your kids registered. Young people, get them registered. Get them over to Doug's clinic. Again, all the information is on the screen, how you can register for No Opponents Elite Basketball Academy. Is that right? I
yeah,
got
you can follow me on Instagram at Doug Overton Official, and also Facebook Doug Overton Official. So all the information is posted on my social media pages, or reach out to you as well and get the information, and then hopefully we'll get this thing kicking off.
cool deal. Cool deal. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Gary Diggs, and you're watching The Conversation, and my good friend Doug Overton is hanging out with me tonight. Thank you for being a part of the show tonight, man. Bless you, man.
Bless you too, man.
I'll
Thanks,
see you
brother.
on the court. Talk to
Uh,
you, man.
got it. All right.
What's up, everybody? This is Gary Diggs. You're watching The Conversation on iKenRock TV on 360wise.com. Today, I'm so excited about my good friend that's going to be joining me. His name is G. Mandel Copeland. Why don't you welcome my guest? Come on, Copeland.
Hey, what's up, guy?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing great, sir, and yourself, man.
Man, I'm glad you took. I'm so glad you took a couple of moments to come hang out with the brother. Appreciate you,
Nah,
man. I know you're busy traveling all over, making deals all the time. So thanks for spending some time with me.
now, hey, bro, look, real talk. I'm just humble for the opportunity, and I want to say to you and I Can Rock, man, thank you guys for sharing the platform, bro.
Thank you. Mandela, I want you to just, we're going to kind of just go back,
Okay.
From the beginning to where we are. And I know it's kind of hard to get your whole resume in, with this time that's allowed it. But I definitely want to just share some great things that are going on in the state of Maryland. You know, and I know a lot about Baltimore. You know, I know about
Okay.
Hartford, you know, I know about all the
Okay.
things. But before we
Okay.
really dig into all that, I want you to just tell me a little something about who is Mandel? Who is this guy outside of the Maryland area?
Oh, wow. Okay, well, you know, Mandel Copeland, man, is a PK musician. I'm a family guy. Been doing church, man. Oh my God, practically all my life, and that's a story within itself. But for the most part, man, yeah. I mean, that's a whole nother. That could be a message, but we won't do it today. But for the most part, man, it's been the life of Mandel has been a life of service.
Okay.
And that's pretty much where I am, man. Just staying quite busy. Got a lot going on. Many of you guys probably familiar with my brother Josh, that was on Sunday's Best. And then my son Madison. So these guys they're keeping me busy, and so that's probably the most part. When you think of Mandel Copeland, you think of a guy who has his hands in several areas of ministry, music, and service, bro.
Well, I want to dig into a few of those things. I know there's a radio station there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
That is 90.3 WDIH.
Yes, sir.
Only black owned radio
Yes,
station?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What?
Well, yeah, man. Actually, we're getting ready to celebrate 34 years.
Wait a minute. 34 years.
Yes, sir.
Did you say 34 years?
34 years.
Wow.
And God be the glory, man. And I know sometimes we have church lingo, but when I say to God be the glory, I really mean that, because the Copeland family, our background, we didn't come where there's a lot of engineers and all of these things.
Okay.
But my father heard a word from God.
And
the situation was, long story short, there was a situation that happened in our city where, you had 1 hour gospel, typical.
Sure.
My father went to one of the radio stations here locally to ask about, there should be a market for more gospel music.
Yeah.
And they was like, it's not really a market for gospel, because the same people who listen to gospel really listen to R&B. So we'll give you an hour, but that's about all we're going to be able to give you guys. So my father lives by the motto, if a door is closed, then you invent your own door.
If the door closed, invent your own door.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Listeners, I'm not sure if you really just you got to grab these nuggets as he's dropping them, because he's going to go deep. We're going to get some other things out of him. But if one door closed, create another one.
You create another one, but you create your own door.
But you create your own. Okay. Wow.
Create your own door. So my father is the owner 34 years ago. From ground, I'm not talking about we bought a station, but from ground zero to where it is today.
Wow.
With God's help, we were able to get this radio station, and it's been running now for 34 years. FM. We're also on the web. We also have our app. So now, a little station in Salisbury, Maryland, you can hear us worldwide.
Salisbury, Maryland.
Salisbury, Maryland.
Gotcha.
We're 30 miles from the Atlantic Ocean. So when you come to us, 30 more miles, you can't go no further east. You're going to go right into the Atlantic Ocean.
You're going to go to a permanent baptism, right?
A permanent baptism, bro.
All right, let me ask this.
Yes,
we know about the radio station.
Yes, sir.
We know about your incredibly talented brother and also your amazing son, who's an incredible artist as well. I want to talk about this 50K Souls.
Oh, wow.
Can you give me a little insight on what is the 50K Souls?
Okay. 50K Souls is an outreach. It's a network of churches and organizations that come together to do outreach in our communities. Brother Gary, real talk, man, I'm really passionate about this because it was something that was dropped in my spirit during a Sunday morning service. My father was preaching, And then Sunday, he was saying that God is requiring more out of us. And I went home a little troubled at first because being a PK, you could identify the message was God is requiring more. And I'm coming home like, okay, but what is more when I'm the musician? I open up the church. I make sure this is done. I get this done. So what you're requiring more, but
drive the van, clean the church. Come on. I just had a lot of flashbacks. Go ahead.
Like what is the more? Like what are you requiring? What God? What are you saying out of me? You want me to do? I mean, I'm not doing enough. What are you? What are you getting?
Like how much? The question is how much more? Right?
Yeah, how much more? What is the? So that Sunday evening, I go to sleep. I wake up early Sunday. He wakes me up that Monday morning like 5 o'clock. I get fully dressed, and he tells me to go to my church. Well, in our church we have a room in our church we call it's a prayer room where you can pray. And so for a whole week, he had me get up every morning, get fully dressed, and go to this prayer room. Well, my first few days, my Monday, my Tuesday, I'm up, I do it, and I'm saying to myself, okay, maybe this is it. Maybe God is trying to get my spirit right because he's getting ready to take me. I don't know. But by Wednesday, there is more that he's requiring. And out of nowhere, I heard the voice, God just kind of dropped 50K souls in my spirit. And I was like, okay, God, I'm okay. By Friday, he gave me the complete layout of what the requirement is. The requirement is we've got to find a way now to move church from the 4 walls to on the other side of the walls of the church. But it's going to take a collective effort from all the churches to come together to do this.
My God.
And I'm like, okay, God, I hear you. I hear you, God. But okay, so, and then I just started picking the phone, started calling churches, and we started partnering. And we started going out in our communities as a body. Not, were you Methodist, were you Baptist, were you Kojic, were you Presbyterian, were you Catholic, we went as one body. And we would knock on the door. And when we knock on the door, we would say, today you're on the mind of God. God is thinking of you. And we would hand them a box of food, and then we would pray. Bro, let me tell you something, man. We have experienced some amazing situations that happen. I give you one testimony. See, when you ask about 50K, bro, I could talk about this like literally all day. But when you asked about it, one of the greatest stories I'll never forget about the movement, we were probably out for 3 months doing this. We did it every 4th of the month. One particular Saturday, we knocked on this door, and the young child answered the door, and he said, Mom, there's some people here with a box of food. And the mother instantly started screaming. And we were like, what in the world is going on? The kid said, come on in. Come on in. So when we came into the house, he took us to the kitchen, went to the kitchen, he opens up the refrigerator. There's no food in the refrigerator. So we leave out the kitchen, we join hands to pray for this mother. And as we begin to pray, the team began to pray. We got done praying. The mother says, I just said to my son, God, if you're real, I have no means to take care of my son this weekend. I have no food. I have no money. I have nothing to take care of my son. And if you're real, God, I need you to have somebody come by here with something because I have no way of feeding my baby. I want you guys to know you guys have just restored my faith back in church because I know now that God is real. And from that moment, 50K souls has been paving and hitting the ground. And it's an organ. I keep telling people it's an organization to advance the kingdom of God.
Let me ask this.
Yeah, sure.
With 50K, because some that are watching it right now are just inspired and blessed by that testimony of the mother. I know there are many people, especially now with COVID, and people going through the things people are having struggles.
Yes, sir.
All over the country, all over the world, people are going through. Everybody did not get a stimulus. So you have people that are really going through. How can they sow into this ministry? Who can they call? How can they get involved with this 50K? Because someone may want to partner with you that's maybe in DC or Virginia or Philadelphia or another area city at all.
Okay. So you can email us at 50ksouls2018@gmail.com.
Okay.
And then someone will connect you as far as giving or being a part of it from that perspective. But Brother Gary, when I think about in Matthew's, and it's funny because sometimes when we read or you hear the story about the 2 fish and the 5 loaves, you got to read the verses before the 2 fish and the 5 loaves, because there's something that happened that solidifies what 50K is all about. There was a revival that broke loose in that chapter.
Yeah.
That revival was 3 days. It was 3 days of miracles. Jesus Christ was performing miracles to the multitude, the masses. People were being healed, set free, and delivered. The masses. And this happened for 3 straight days.
Yes.
And then Jesus, when it was over and people were getting ready to leave, Jesus stopped his disciples and asked them a question. And the question was, did these people get something to eat? And the disciples were like, no. You mean to tell me we had church for 3 days and we didn't feed these people? Hold up. We can't let them go.
We got to feed them. They got to eat.
We got to feed them. And honestly, when I think about the conditions of the church, we have church people, but we never gave them something tangible in their hand that they can understand. And the frustration was when Jesus, here it is, bro. The frustration of the text, Jesus was upset with the disciples because he's talking to fishermen.
Fishermen. People that have a means.
He's talking to people who have the means.
Yeah.
And they're looking at Jesus like, well, what are we going to do? How are we going to get the fish? But I'm talking to fishermen. So he says, okay, you know what? I can show you better. I can tell you. Excuse me, can I borrow your 2 fish and your 5 loaves? Because the point is, you guys are focusing on we don't have enough.
We don't have enough. Yeah. Which is how most of us end up missing our blessing.
It's about not having enough. It's about using what you have and allow God to multiply it. And so I'm trying to, I don't want to carry the conversation too far off, but that's what 50K Souls is all about. And we're now celebrating our 5th, we're in the 5.5 years now of operation.
Wow, 5th year of this. Wow. Well, the information is on the screen for those that want to sow into this ministry and partner with you. Mandel, listen, I'm so glad that you're with me on the conversation. Again, those you just tuning in, I'm Gary Diggs, The Conversation on iKenRock TV on 360wise.com.
Emergency unfolding across several states, millions without electricity in Texas and elsewhere across the South. No heat, no water after this first storm, and it's been deadly at least.
What's up, everybody? This is Gary Diggs, and you're watching The Conversation with my good friend Mandel Copeland on iKenRock TV 360wise.com. Mandel, I'm enjoying this time with you tonight, man. I'm telling you, you are blessing me talking about the radio station, and you're talking about 50K. Now you got just talk about this 5-year journey. How's this been? And just kind of let me know all that's happening with all of this.
Yeah, sure, man. So, again, like I stated earlier, it's a network. It's churches and organizations, man, that we're coming together, and we try to meet the needs in some form or fashion of what's going on in the community, as well as share the word.
Sure.
So 5 years ago, there was a situation I'm sure many of us are aware of that happened in Flint with the water crisis.
Yeah, it was a sad time.
And so we were able, with partners and our team here, we were able in 3 weeks to do a rally. And in the midst of the rally, we were able to come together with about 4,000 cases of water in about 3 weeks.
Wow.
And we were able to get to trucks, which was about 4 trucks, and get to Flint, Michigan, and try to provide assistance to those families who were struggling with just clean water in the United States. I mean, that's something to think about, something that we take for granted, water. And we take it for granted, but
we do.
During that time, those were people who were struggling with clean water. And so we were humbled to be that conduit, to be able to create that particular situation. We're in our 5th anniversary. And of course, many of us know what happened in Texas a few days ago, and that winter storm. And what was tragic was, that was East Coast weather. That's our weather. That's how we get down. But they were devastated by what was going on there. Not only were they devastating, but their pipes was devastating. Like their pipes couldn't handle, they couldn't handle what was going on.
The pipes were devastated.
Yeah, the pipes were like, yo, we ain't used to this right here.
Yeah.
And so there were about 14 million people without running water. And so last Sunday, to be exact, man, bro, Gary, I was like messed up because I felt as though there's something we need to do. But what do we do? And I'm saying this is an emergency. So water for Flint, we had 3 weeks, but this is an emergency. We don't have 3 weeks.
No,
they need water right
now.
now.
Yeah,
they need it now. And so I was thinking, like, okay, I don't know. The components is much different. I don't know if we can. And I just really just sat down and started working, man, and started putting together our network and our resources, man. And with God's help, only God, man, to God be the glory. What took us 5 years ago, 3 weeks, 5 years later, took us 3 days. We was able to move water to the Texas. Not only Texas was devastated, but Louisiana. So we were able to send water to Texas and Louisiana in 3 days to aid those families that needed running water, who didn't have water. And so, again, we have to say, to God be the glory, number one. Number two, I just want to thank all of our partners that connect with us. 50K Souls, again, it's a network of churches and organizations. So we have churches and networks that are in about 16 different states here in the United States, as well as over in the area called Pretoria, South Africa. And so we're just humbled, man. In 5 years, the expansion that God has allowed us to be a part of.
Wow. And able to partner even with South Africa now.
Yes, sir.
Wow. I'm just blessed by the fact that during this season with Flint, Michigan, how it took you so much time to get water, and how when Dallas came about, or I'm sorry, the state of Texas came about,
Yes, sir.
you were able to meet that need in 3 days.
Sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir. And it's just, again, it's humbling because when you start thinking about it, I believe that, this is what God has called us to do, man. He's called us light and salt for a reason. And so it's about us connecting our resources so that we can be direction, bring our resources together so we can use our influences, so that we can make the difference. Even with this in a pandemic.
Yeah.
And watch this, bro, Gary, this is the crazy part. We was able to rally this without social media. Like, we didn't use social media to advertise we're trying to do a rally for people to come who has water to give. God just said use your network, use your resources in your network, and your sources. And every church, every organization that I reached out to, they was like, tell me when. We move when you say move. And to God be the glory, man, that we were able to, again, create a level of aid. I'm reminded there was an area, and it was an Oaks. The complex is like Oaks Complex Residence or something like that. It's about 74 units. No water. And because of what we sent, we were able to provide water. There was a school. No water. Because of what we sent, they were able to. So actually, the water we sent went to direct places that needed help, like right now.
Right now, yeah.
And yeah, bro, like it becomes a little emotional, and I don't want to do that on social media.
Man, don't do me like that.
But I really, yeah, man, it's and honestly, man, I had no idea that, like, this pandemic, like, God prepared me 5 years ago, and I didn't understand. I would never say he told me about the pandemic, but I will say he prepared me so that we could be a help, because our team is out every Friday, and we're feeding anywhere to 300 to 400 people every Friday. Every Friday we're in the streets passing out boxes, and this is our form of ministry. Maybe our church doors are closed, but ministries never shut down. Ministry never closes. Maybe the 4 walls, we can't go inside of a building, but the truth of the matter is we are the church.
Just the doors are closed.
Just the doors are closed, but we're still active. The radio station is still preaching and still hammering the gospel. So all of this stuff has prepared us for now.
Let me ask you, Mandel. We talked about the radio station.
Yes, sir.
We talked about 50K. So
yes, sir.
We talked about Flint, Michigan.
Yes, sir.
We talked about your work with South Africa and even the state of Texas that you recently have done. What I want to, and we talked about Sunday, right?
Yes, sir.
I want to talk about the musicianship, Mandel Copeland and Company, and the hit song, The Blood. I want you to just talk a little bit about what's going on in Salisbury, Maryland. I mean, what is all this greatness coming out of there, man? Talk to me.
Wow. Hey man, listen. The Blood, man. My group, man. I had a group. Let me see, Madison's 20, maybe 19 years ago. I was trying to be the next voice. I thought I was gonna be that, and it was funny, man. God has a sense of humor, man, but he does. He doesn't. Sometimes we get in our own way.
We do.
And a lot of times we like to blame people, but the truth of the matter is, until we say yes to his will, and I'm not trying to be deep or super spiritual at the moment, but until we get to the place, someone who's watching this, here's a true story, man. You're looking at a guy, I had to learn to say yes to his will. And I had to be okay with what once I gave him the yes and surrendered, I had to be okay with what he called me to do.
Being submissive.
And be submissive, bro. And this is a true story. Nothing worked for Mandel until I said yes. When I started doing 50K souls and I started hitting the streets, knocking on doors, maybe to some people that's not a popular gig, but I love knocking on doors, touching people's lives. I love letting somebody know you do matter. When I started doing that, that's when a song that I had written 15, 16 years ago, I got a call. Charles Butler. And he was like, we need a song. Do you think you have a song that you could? Yeah, I think I got one. It's like, I just need my brother to lead the song. No problem. Had no idea, man. Giving that song to Charles Butler and Trinity, I had no idea it was going to change my life the way it has.
Mm.
And all of this stuff that we're enjoying, the blood, my brother, Sunday's best, like all of this stuff, man, honestly, bro, I thank God that he trusted me again.
Yeah.
And he gave me this gift, 50K souls, to be concerned about the lives of people. Because none of the stuff that I'm enjoying probably would have never really happened for me. Because prior to that, man, I was just going through the motions, bro. I was a PK that could play and was burnt out. And kept saying, there's got to be more, but what is the more?
Well, I tell you this,
wow.
God does all things well.
Oh, man. And he never makes mistakes.
And he never.
Hey, look,
he doesn't fall short of his promise.
Watch this, Gary. He never makes mistakes, and he doesn't have a plan B.
And there's no plan B. There's no plan B. Because you're going to do the will of God, whether you like it or not. You're going to come kicking and screaming.
Well, pick your choice.
Pick your choice. You can run like Jonah. You can do ministry in the belly if you want, but you're going to do the will of God. I'm just grateful for this opportunity, man, to have talked with you and allow you to share with the world things that are going on in Maryland. And I'm grateful for this time with you. We're getting ready. We're going to close, but I want you to just share just a couple of seconds of what is next for your ministry and what you're doing. Or let me go back. Let me re-ask that.
Okay.
Why are you still in ministry? And then what's next for ministry?
I'm still in ministry, man, because now my conviction now, my why I do what I do is I feel as though my father, who's still alive and who's still preaching and who's still hammering that God is the greatest, he's our source. And I've watched him do it for years. And now I've picked up the mantle and I'm preaching that God is still our source and God is still the greatest power. Yeah. I feel as though I've been called now so the next generation, my sons, can be able to stand not alone, but they can stand on my shoulders because I'm standing on my father's shoulders. Yeah. And I feel as though it's the strength now is, let me say it like this, and then hopefully it'll make sense. I made a promise. I will never use any platforms to bash the old church, because the old church, maybe they didn't have all it right, but they only worked on what they knew. And yeah, they said a lot of things was wrong that we found out later. Maybe they wasn't as wrong, but they knew one thing, and that was God. And they knew it was important that when it's all said and done, I got to see him.
In peace.
In peace. So, yes, a lot of things they said to us, because what it was, they wanted us to be safe than sorry. I'd rather have too much than not enough. So I feel as though it's our job now, Gary, Brother Gary, it's our job to be, we're now the people that we respect. We're now the people that we feared.
Yeah.
We're now the people that we admired. We're now the disciples that we read about. But it's our assignment now to teach and preach with balance so that the next generation won't have an excuse and not know the truth. So that's the why for Mandel now. The why for me now is to be the conduit so that thy kingdom come, that will be done in earth.
In earth, as it is.
As it is in heaven. There's some things that's in the heavens that still needs to be manifested in the earth. And what he needs, the reason why there's still a level of lack, there's not enough conduits yet. So that he can manifest what's in heaven here on earth. He needs more Garys so that he can manifest in the earth what's going on in heaven. So my assignment, my why is I've said yes to God. And because I've said yes, my yes is saying I'm willing to be the conduit, the birth canal, to be the next, to whatever's going on in heaven. God, if you need a body.
Wow. Yeah, I am.
Hey, bro, I better tap out of it, man. I'm going, and I'm quiet. Let me. You know what? I got some cranberry juice. Let me be quiet, bro. Go ahead, Doc. Do what you do, cause I just felt something right there, and I don't want to do that right now, bro.
You know, this was not by accident. This was designed for us to meet, and I'm grateful for your ministry. I'm grateful for what you're doing. And all that your hands are touching in Maryland and all that you're doing around the globe. And I appreciate your time with me tonight. But Mandel, your information is on the screen for those to reach out to you and connect with you and connect with your ministry. Because I believe that what you're doing with 50K is global. And the world needs to know about what's going on. And I'm just grateful because, again, like I said earlier when we spoke, I know about Baltimore, you know, I know about DC, but you know, Salisbury, Maryland is just not, you know, okay, Salisbury, I know that heading to Suffolk, Virginia, or Chesapeake.
Going through, the go through, right?
You know,
yeah,
the go through. It's a 13, right?
Right, yes, sir, yes, sir.
But your ministry is awesome, and I appreciate you, and I honor you, man of God. Wow. And I thank God for you and for your time. Again, those of you just tuning in, you're watching Gary Diggs, The Conversation on iKenRock TV on 360wise.com. Mandel Copeland, man, thank you for being with me tonight. I appreciate you and love you for real, and blessings to you and your family, man. Take care of yourself. God bless you, brother.
I do.
My God, what can I say? Mandel Copeland, what an awesome interview tonight with him. Just about all the great things that are happening in Salisbury, Maryland. Again, I'm Gary Diggs, The Conversation on iKenRock TV on 360wise.com. I hope you had a great time enjoying the show tonight, and I want you to totally understand that anything you desire or want, continue to seek his face. There's no good thing the Lord withhold from you. And just remember also, get a chance, look at The Broken Key by myself. You can purchase that on GaryEDiggs.com or bookbaby.com or Amazon.com. But thank you for being with me tonight on iKenRock TV on 360wise.com. God bless you.
I want to get to know you, and I'm willing to start over. Only you can change my intellect, oh, make me wiser. The worst do to deserve this? Only you can fill this empty space that started when I was young. Oh, but now that I'm older, I see victory coming out of this. Oh, take it to the river, let it drown. You gotta let it all drown. Let it drown, yeah. Insecurities, family little secrets, let them drown. Sometimes you gotta let some things hold on to those things that left me bound and chained. Oh, let it drown. Let it drown. Oh, let it drown. Oh, this is my testimony. Let it drown. Oh, let it drown. Let it drown.